Hey everybody, it is Memorial Day and I thought I would show you how I make my Spanish rice. We're grilling up some carne asada, which is pretty much just marinated steak. For those of you who don't know, it's got like lime juice and cilantro and garlic and a little bit of oil and just, chili powder and other seasonings to make it just muy caliente. Anyway, so I thought I would show you how I make my Spanish rice because we're going to have rice and the carne asada. We're just going to do kind of like, a whole Spanish thing for Memorial Day. So anyway, happy Memorial Day. On to the cooking. Okay, so I have a pan here. I've got it about on medium heat. And I'm going to grab, I'm trying to do this one-handed here. And my husband's doing dishes in the background, so that's what you hear, the clinking and the clanging. Alright, so you're just going to add like a couple tablespoons of oil. You don't want a lot. Like, about that. And I just kind of like make sure kind of coats the bottom of the pan just a little bit. And then you're going to want to add however much rice you want. Like, I'm only making a cup, because rice, when you cook it, it doubles, So, hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. So, what you do is you actually fry your rice in the oil a little bit. And it starts out looking kind of like white or clearish, and you want to wait till it gets to like a solid white color with the heat. You'll see it change color when you're doing it. You don't want it too brown, but you want it just a little bit browned. Just a little bit, because you're toasting it. And honestly, that's how you can tell the difference between like real Spanish rice and like, the stuff that they call Spanish rice, but it's not really Spanish rice. And this is the recipe my grandmother made for me growing up, that my grandpa would eat, and that his mom from Mexico made for him. So, I mean, this is pretty authentic stuff here, and this is honestly how I judge restaurants if their rice is like boiled. And I can tell you how you tell the difference. You can tell if it's really cooked right and cooked Spanish rice by the end, with the way the rice looks. The rice grain, when it's fully cooked, the edges won't be solid round. It won't look like it's been boiled. The ends will be like kind of like frayed a little bit. And that's how you can tell that it's been fried. So yeah, you just want to kind of keep at it and give it a couple minutes. Now, while that's doing that, you're going to want to add a little bit of onion and garlic. And I have some pre-chopped here. And you don't want a lot. You just want like maybe, like a fourth of a cup of onion and a couple cloves of garlic. Nothing too much. But this adds a lot of flavor to your rice. And I'm trying to get that here. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. And you're just going to want to stir that in there like this. So everything's kind of getting toasted. And you're going to want to have your chicken broth on hand. That's right, I said chicken broth. When you make Spanish rice, you don't boil it with water. You use chicken broth. Now, for those of you who are vegetarian, you could probably use like a vegetable broth or something, but the broth is what adds the flavor. It adds a lot of flavor, so I highly recommend using some type of broth to your Spanish rice, or it just won't taste. It won't taste the same. It'll taste like boiled rice with a little bit of like onion garlic flavor to it. Okay, everything's getting nice and toasted here. Everything's starting to get just slightly browned, which is what we want. Okay, so for cooking rice, you pretty much add 2 cups of water per cup of rice. So I'm going to be adding 2 cups of chicken broth to my pan, like so. Yeah, sorry guys, it's a lot of steam coming right up. There we go. Now, with rice, I was always taught that you bring it to a boil and then you turn it to low for 16 minutes and that's what gets it cooked. So, that's pretty much what I'm going to do here, and it shouldn't take too long since the pan is already pretty hot. But yeah, you're just pretty much letting the flavors get all in there. Yeah. And then, what I like to do is also add either a couple tablespoons of tomato paste, or you can use El Tapatio sauce, which is kind of just like a jalapeno tomato sauce type of, it's like Spanish. You can find it in Spanish markets. If you're out of the country or maybe in a part of the country that doesn't sell that sort of thing, you can use tomato sauce or tomato paste, and that works perfectly fine. You don't have to get too fancy. And I usually like to add it now. You could add it a little bit later, but I like to let it soak into the rice kernels. And it's just mostly for a little bit of flavor and a little bit of color. And you really don't need a lot. So what I'm going to be using here is tomato sauce, because we have tomato paste, but the thing with tomato paste here at least is it always sells like a huge container of it, and you only use like 2 tablespoons, and you try to use it up, but it just doesn't seem to work. Alright, hold on, I'm going to have to put this down. Okay guys, sorry, I couldn't scrape the tomato sauce out of the container in the pan one-handed. I'm talented, but I am not that talented. So anyway, this is kind of what it should look like, kind of like a light red color. You just need a few tablespoons to flavor it, and then you just want to bring that to a boil, and then you just want to let it put the temperature to low, and then just let it finish cooking. And then when you're done, you just fluff it up and you serve it. Now my grandma always liked to serve hers with like a few like green peas sprinkled in her rice. You don't have to. If you wanted to add a different vegetable, you could. You can just leave it how it is. That's usually how I do it. But this is like the best stuff. And I will post the recipe with like, you know, the exact measurements and everything like that down below, because I know it's really hard to like, I don't know, pause and be like, okay, what'd she say? When you're watching a YouTube video. So I will post it there so that way you can just like copy and paste it or try making it at home. But it's like super easy, super easy. So I will pick back up in a minute when this is all done, and I will show you what it looks like. And I hope you guys try it at home, and if you do, I hope you like it. And I hope it works out for you. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, everybody, so it's been about 14-15 minutes, and as you can see, the rice is just nearly done. Still has a touch of water in the bottom. It's like light and fluffy, and you can just see the ends. I don't know if you can tell, but the ends just don't look the same. The rice doesn't look the same as it does when you boil it. Anyway, you want to make sure that all the liquid is gone, and yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like, just a slightly red color. If you wanted to, you can add green chilies or anything else you want to this. And if you like cooking videos, I could always do more. This is just one of my family recipes that has been handed down, and like I said, I grew up eating this stuff, and I don't know, sometimes I think homemade it tastes better than anything. So anyway, let me know what you think, and hope you guys have a great Memorial Day. And I'd also just like to say a quick thank you to all the troops out there, and to any families who may be watching who have troops, who've served, who are still serving. We wouldn't have this country, and we wouldn't be as free as we are without them. Their sacrifices, the sacrifices of their family, the sacrifices of our troops, and yeah, so happy Memorial Day. Bye.